for the Atlanta Dream. So we know all about what you did. And you look at how your game transformed last year, it seemed like, in the WNBA. Now you're moving to New York, adding that with that roster. What are you most excited about joining this team?
I'm most excited about the young potential of the team. I think that, we're moving in the right direction with the pieces that are already there and what's trying to be added. And, also I'm closer to home. So my family, friends, everyone will be able to, come and be able to see me play.
Thank you.
Jeff Magliochetti.
Betnijah, welcome to New York. Great to have you aboard, and thank you for joining us today. You know what it's like to make a difference on a hardwood in the tri-state area with your time at Rutgers over in Piscataway. So what is the best lesson that you're going to take from C. Vivian Stringer and your time over with the Scarlet Knights?
I think just, my work ethic. I think that that goes a long way. Just never, giving up or anything, regardless of the circumstances, just continuing to work hard and pushing myself and those around me to just continue to get better.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Caroline Bullock.
Hi, Betnijah. It's Caroline from Focus Hoops in the UK. So you had an amazing season last year, most improved player. What are some of the areas of your game that you're looking to work on, and what are your overall goals for this season?
My overall goal and what I would like to continue to work on is just kind of expanding each area of my game. I think that I did that last year, and so just trying to stay on that same foot and just continue to get better, whether it's my shooting percentage, my free throw percentage, assisted turnover ratio, just all the little things that'll help make myself and the team better.
Thank you.
Rafiq Lewison.
Hey, this is Rafiq Lewison from Nothing But That Sports Talk. I covered not just Liberty, but the Aces and a few other teams. I just wanted to ask you, how do you plan to contribute to Liberty rebuilding process?
To just come in and, like I said, just continue to get better as a player myself, and then just help those around me. I do bring that veteran experience, so to just continue to push myself, push everyone else, just be a voice, lead by example, and just be whatever it is that the team needs me to be.
Howard Megdal.
Hi, Betnijah. Howard Megdal, 538 in the Nets. Great to chat with you. Howard Megdal, 538 in the Nets. Great to chat with you. Oh, God. That was. I'm very sorry. Wanted to ask you specifically about what role the offense that Walt runs plays in wanting to be a place for you to come to. Obviously, Nikki giving you the green light allowed you to blossom in some fundamental ways and show that you could be a shooter in this league, north of 40% from three. Was that among the most appealing parts of this? I'm just wondering what role it played for you.
I mean, definitely, it's very similar in the sense that, he allows the players to play free. It's a free motion offense. It's not, okay, sometimes you have within sets, okay, this is the shot that we're looking for, but he allows the players, just to have the ability to play within the offense. The offense is more of a guide for, the plays and everything that'll be ran.
Thanks and welcome.
Tim Crowley.
Hi, Betnijah. Tim Crowley, WRHU. Thinking back to your two games against New York last year, you obviously played very well offensively. Was there anything in those two games that stood out to you when you came back to this decision to sign with New York?
I didn't necessarily think about the games that I had against them in my decision. It was just more so, the conversations and the relationship that we had begun to build and everything. That's kind of, what appealed to me.
Miles Ehrlich.
Hey, Betnijah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Last season, upon arriving in the bubble, Leja Clarendon, Amanda Zawiby, Kia Nurse, and Kia Stokes were quickly named baby vets on a squad that was full of rookies. You're going to be in a similar role this season. Are there any young players in particular that you're ready to take under your wing and help develop, or any that you've spoken to already?
The only ones that I've really spoken to was Sabrina, which I'm really looking forward to playing with her. Just, even where she's at right now, coming into WNBA last year as a rookie, I think she showed a lot of potential, and I think her ceiling is very, very high. So I'm really excited to be able to play with her, to teach her, but also learn from her, and just kind of build that chemistry on the court. She was the only one that I've spoken to so far, but I think that there's a great group of young talent in New York. So I'm really looking forward to working with all of them.
Next, we'll go to Gabe Ibrahim.
Hey, Betnijah and Jonathan, if you're still around. Welcome to New York. I'm with Nets Republic and Her Hoop Stats. My question for both of you is, was there a moment where you knew, Betnijah, I'm coming to New York, and was there a moment, Jonathan, where you knew she was coming, and what off-court considerations were there for you in making this decision?
Yeah, I called Jonathan a little while ago and told him that I was coming to New York, that I had made my decision, and that I was excited about it. And with that, there are a lot of off-court things that kind of appeal. Like I said, it's closer to home, so my family and friends, everyone's right there. Just the ownership group has shown to be really great. They show that they care about the athletes both on and off the court, given just the abundant amount of resources that are there. And it just, I don't know everyone personally yet, but it just seems like a really great group. So I'm excited to be a part of it.
Next, we'll go to Jeff Magliochetti.
Hello again. By the way, I'm Jeff Magliochetti with Empire Sports Media, Nets Republic, and Winsider. This question is for Jonathan. You've spoken very highly about, having players who who do great, not just on the court, but off the court too. High in skill and high in character. How did Betnijah fill both of these qualities in your eyes?
I mean, she's through the roof in both of those areas. Off court, I think she's somebody that's going to add so much to our community. And I think going back to the previous question that was asked by Gabe, I mean, for us, Kia Clark, who's our CEO, does just a wonderful job planning out off-court programming for players and what they're interested in, how we can really help people in the community. And I think Betnijah really lit up during a conversation with Kia as well, just kind of explaining like, this is what you can do off-court in New York. In terms of her character, just look at, you shouldn't be more proud of anybody than Betnijah. She works so hard to get where she's at. It takes true grit, belief, grind, everything, whatever you want to call it, she has it. I think it's something that New Yorkers embody. I think that's going to make them relate. And we're just over the moon about Betnijah coming to New York.
Awesome. Thank you both.
When I was younger, I actually spent a lot of time in Brooklyn. My great aunt, she was like my grandmother. She was from Brooklyn and lived there for as long as I can remember. So, growing up, I was there a lot. So it's kind of like coming home for me, So I'm excited. I have a lot of family and friends that are, in the area. So I'm just excited to be around them, be closer to them, for this basketball season.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to go to Jackie Powell.
Hey, hi, Betnijah. I'm Jackie Powell from The Next. Really nice to meet you on Zoom. I have a question for both you and Jonathan. And so this is about your history as a defensive player and now really a two-way player. So there are a lot of young players on the Liberty who have proved their confidence maybe on the defensive side, but are still coming into their own on the offensive side. So Betnijah, how, via your experience in this league, are you looking forward to helping some of these young players like a Jocelyn Willoughby, a Nate Odom, and a Kylie Shook, prove that they can also be excellent on offense as well?
I think it starts in practice and everything, just building that confidence up on your own, knowing that you've put in the work to go out and perform and, do certain things. But, it also comes from those around you, kind of instilling that confidence in you to, to show what you're capable of. Because sometimes, coming in, like, players get labeled because maybe, teams have this already or have that, and they just want you to do a specific role, which I kind of found myself in until, last year with Nikki. She saw me putting in the work and everything, which I've always been doing, but then she just kind of gave me that green light, which gave me the confidence to, go out and just play free and play my game. So I think, that it starts, with yourself, just making sure that you're doing everything that you need to do to go out and perform, but then also, just having people around you who believe in you and what you're capable of to go out there and be able to perform.
And Jonathan, for you, when it comes to what you saw from Betnijah as a veteran leader, sort of how do you see her giving her expertise and helping some of these young players become the two-way players that you want them to be?
Yeah, no, good question. I mean, for us, we've been after Betnijah actually for longer than people probably realize. We were wanting her services last year. We were waiting on a player to decide if they were going to come or not to the bubble. And in that, our plan was if that player was to opt out, we were going to go after Betnijah, and it was for leadership reasons. And then just so happens the timing didn't work out, but here we are, months later. And so we couldn't be more excited. In terms of leadership, we're trying to assemble a group of players that are wanting to be in the gym and wanting to work on their games, and not only want to work on their games for themselves, but for each other. And that's who she is. She leads by example. You can see it on court in front of fans in terms of in game, hopefully in front of fans. But off court in practice and things like that, it's just contagious. And we're looking for that type of attitude, and that's what she embodies.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Howard Megdal.
Betnijah, if I could talk a little bit bigger picture, you're being introduced to the media about 2 hours before Erica Wheeler is being introduced to the media as well. This is obviously a legacy of C. Vivian Stringer that you know well personally, dating back to, of course, your mom playing with her as well. I guess the bigger question I have is just two parts. What is it about playing for Vivian that prepares people so well to play in this league? And what is it that allows you guys to find another level? Which I think it would be fair to say you did obviously last year, winning Most Improved Player, and Erica has as well.
She just, from the minute that we step on campus, even before that, like, she's instilling in us, what it takes to get to that next level. That's discipline, it's hard work, it's consistency. All of those things are things that she instills in you, whether it's her talking to you, whether it's putting you through drills, just making sure, it's the attention to detail. And I found that that's carried me a long way, and whether that was, just me on defense or offensively, it was just that attention to detail, which kind of, I feel like separates us a bit. And so I'm very appreciative of that. And then, she continues to talk to us and everything, and just about what it is that we want, goals and everything, and how we're going to get there. So it's just, continuing to work and to never give up, regardless of what anyone else may or may not think about us. So it's just, it's all the little things.
Did you connect with her after you agreed to come to New York?
I have not connected with her yet, but I spoke to her after the season and everything, and what it looked like and future goals and stuff. And I know that New York has spoken with her on my behalf.
Thank you very much.
Gabe?
I actually I hope this isn't too personal of a question, but what's your mom's reaction? Because she's kind of one of the OGs of this game. And she's now seeing you being the prominent free agent of this class, getting a really big contract. How does she see? How's she seen this whole process?
I mean, she's even though she's basketball, she's more in the mom role right now. So she's really happy for me, excited. She didn't, when she first came out, there was no WNBA. So for her to, see me fulfill my dreams and, which I'm sure would have been a dream of hers, she's just really happy and excited that I'm being able to live out mine.
Next, we'll go back to Lois.
Sorry, I have to unmute. Can you please tell us where you spent this off season or where you're spending this off season?
I'm currently in Israel right now, playing for Ramleh. We're actually really good over here. We're 13-0 right now. We just finished up Euro Cup, the first round, so we advanced to the next one, which will be a single game elimination in March. So I'm in Israel and Ramleh doing pretty well.
Is there anything special you've been working on in terms of your game? Things you want, that's often what overseas is good for, adding a new skill or changing something up?
Yeah, just a little bit of everything, just trying to, I think for me right now, I've shown that I'm capable at all levels, whether it's, hitting a three or mid-range or getting to the basket. So for me, it's just trying to be more consistent.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Miles.
Hi, I realized I didn't say it the first time. So Miles Ehrlich with Nets Republic and with Winsider. I've got a question for Jonathan this time. Back on the night of the draft lottery, in regards to free agency, you said we're going to be aggressive and see how it shakes out, but I think tonight is not the only night we're going to be in the news. Is there still enthusiasm towards another big splash this offseason in terms of roster additions?
Love it, Miles, but let's keep this on a special day, all right, for Betnijah.
Next, we'll go to Jackie Powell.
Hey again. I just wanted to ask you, so since you have family here, I want to know if when you were growing up, did you watch the Liberty, and how hungry are you, and what does it mean to you to potentially be a part of bringing a championship to the only original WNBA franchise that is without a championship?
Actually, coming up, I did not. I hated basketball. I didn't want anything to do with it. The only reason I got into it was because I was always around it because my mother, she played basketball and she's always giving back to the community and teaching. And so I would have to go to the gym with her and I would just sit in the corner and like read a book, do a puzzle. But I kind of, watching it, I would get bored. I'm like, oh, I think I'm gonna play. And then I got pretty good. And so it's like, okay, here I am. But I actually didn't see my first Liberty game until maybe like high school. And, even then it was really exciting. And I remember thinking like, wow, like one day, like I want that to be me. And so, the fact that I'm here now, it does mean a lot. And I'm just really excited for the opportunity.
And just the fact that this is a franchise that has never won a championship, and it's one of the original ones. This year is the 25th anniversary of the league. So what does that mean to you? Do you have sort of a chip on your shoulder to be one of the people who, helps make it happen?
Yeah, I think that's always the ultimate goal. That's why we play. We play to compete and to win a championship. So as long as I'm here and playing, that's the goal for myself, for my teammates, for the team, the organization. That's the ultimate goal, and we're just going to do each and everything that we can to obtain that goal.
And if I could just ask one more, we saw on Twitter that Laisha Clarendon was so pumped up that you'll be joining the team. And I happened to notice that you played with them in 2018. So what was that like back then? And how are you sort of looking forward to playing with them again in 2021?
Yeah, I played with Lasia in Connecticut when she got traded there for a little bit, and I loved her then. Just her spirit, everything that she brings both on and off the court. She's just an amazing person. The things that she does in the community, just the voice, what she's done with her platform. So I'm really excited to be standing beside her and competing with her. And like I mentioned earlier, going out and fighting alongside her and my other teammates to win a championship.
Great. Thank you.
Rafiq Lewison.
Yeah, I got a question for Jonathan. How excited are you about what the new acquisitions, and are you planning to add any more pieces for the rest of free agency?
Yeah, no, we're over the moon about Betnijah. I think she was a top priority for us. I think we were the first meeting for her, if not right up there. Reached right out to her agent as soon as we were allowed to under the rules, and scheduled a meeting, and really enjoyed the conversation. We had many more from there. It's rare that you can have a player that so uniquely helps fill some problem areas from the previous year. We were, I think, what were we in 11th in pick and roll defense last year, 12th in spot up offense, and she uniquely and immensely helps us improve in those spaces. So we're tremendously excited about Betnijah.
Gabe.
So, Betnijah, you mentioned that you had you when you were growing up, you hated basketball. It wasn't your thing. I know you were a dancer. I have a follow-up question after this, but has your dancing, does that help you with the footwork? Because I know you get around screens really well. Is that something that helps?
I think so. I think that is definitely ballet and tap and jazz. I think it's definitely something that has helped me get to where I am, in terms of footwork and everything. So it wasn't waste.
No, you can kind of see it, honestly. But for Jonathan and for Betnijah, you're so young in your basketball development because you got started a little bit later. Did you think that kind of is going to give you more room to grow, and is kind of why we haven't seen you be the star player until last year? And do you think there's just more levels to go from here?
I think there's always room for growth, regardless of who you are or what you've done. I think that you just have to find what that growth is, whether it's a little bit of growth or, a lot of growth, but there's always room to grow. And I think that that's something that I've always, thought or known. And so that's kind of what, keeps me going and allows me to progress and, in my career. So yeah, I'm always going to be growing. I don't always know what it's going to be, but I'm growing.
Next, we'll go to Carolyn Bullock.
Betnijah, I think you may have touched on it a little bit, but I just wanted to ask, what's your kind of philosophy around how you managed to stay ready so that you could take that opportunity that came when Nikki gave you the chance to kind of go and play as you did last year?
I think I've always known what I wanted to be. And even though it may not have seemed like I was going to get there, I just continued to work and I continued to stay ready. Even in terms of we didn't know if we were going to have a season last year or what last year was going to look like. So it would have been easy to just okay, well, I'll just chill or whatever, but I wasn't I didn't always have access to a gym or anything, but I made sure that whatever it is that I could do, that I was doing just that. And even, when I was waived from Indiana, I could have been okay, well, I guess I'm off this summer, but I still, I kept working out and, doing things that I needed to do to stay ready. So I think that that's, something that's very, very important, is to just make sure, regardless of what the future may look like, you never really know what's going to happen. So you just got to stay ready and know what it is that your goal is, and focus on that and just continue to work.
For the sake of time, everyone, I'm going to go to Danny Barlavi for our final question.
Hey, Betnijah, Dave Arlavi, sports from Venus, Czech Republic, and Windsetter. You touched on this a little bit earlier, but I was wondering if you could talk a bit more about your fit in the backcourt with Sabrina Ionescu and just kind of how you think you'll make each other better on the court.
I think that, just watching Sabrina, she's capable of many things. She's capable of scoring. She's capable of playing on the ball, off the ball. And I think that that's, really good for myself and everyone else around us. It's not like I'll be able to bring it up or do something and, play through her, or she can play through me. So I think that we'll complement each other really well on the court.